user will usually look at obbies as some side quests that they could play for the fun every now and then, and whilst they may know about the surface level obby niches such as difficulty charts and towers, they never really question if there is more than just this to Roblox obbies. Perhaps maybe because they may not be skilled enough to step into the obby community, or maybe they just don't care. However, there is much more than meets the eye to what we know as Roblox obstacle course. I personally would say that there are around 5 main levels to Roblox obby knowledge, with level 1 being the surface level, escape the blank obby and real loser type stuff that your average 8-year-old toddler probably has heard about, along with most of the Roblox community. So with that said, I think it's best we begin with some games such as Tower of Hell. This is the very bare bone and simplistic surface of Roblox obbies. Every active Roblox player has at least once played this game, which puts this at an extremely well-known point of Roblox obbies alongside many more games, such as Escape the Blank obbies, 2-player obbies, Steep Steps, Difficulty Charts, Mega Fun obby games, Skill Tester games, Tower of Hell games, and I Wanna Test the Game, which once again, if you're an active Roblox player, you have almost definitely heard of those, or at least somewhat understand what they are, along with most of these random obby games that low-key kinda scam your average Roblox child. I mean, hell, I was playing with my niece a few days ago and she spent 70 Robux on a coil in this game. It's just a complete waste, yeah, and I got no words, but anyways. With all that said, it's pretty easy to understand what level 1 obby knowledge really means, and I don't think I have to explain what something like Tower of Hell is. However, the second layer is where things actually become much more skill-based and interesting. So I think the very surface of the second layer definitely has to be a game such as Eternal Towers of Hell, which despite recently becoming much more widely known about because of YouTubers such as Bundan, it still remains mostly unknown to your average Roblox user, which is quite sad considering that this game has an insanely dedicated community to it, hence resulting into this game by itself having over 400 total community-made towers inside of it. And the way you progress through Ito is simply by completing more and more towers within the game in order to unlock further areas within the game, which are known as rings and zones. And that lets you descend further through the rings or ascend further through the zones, as the game has 2 routes you can go on, if not both. And I've noticed a trend on Roblox that results in games like Ito never truly becoming popular as they should be, which is that whenever the player joins a game, they expect to almost instantly understand what to do. And if that wasn't obvious already, Ito isn't really like that, let alone the fact that Ito is quite literally entirely a skill test game if you think about it, because the more tiles you complete, the harder it will become to complete a new hardest tower, as this game's difficulty chart system ranges all the way from the easy difficulty, which any mobile player could complete, up to the catastrophic difficulty, where the hardest tower in the canon game, known as the Tower of Cruel Punishment, could end up taking your average player well over a year or two of practice in order to stand a chance against, which hopefully should explain why these Roblox RB games aren't as well known as they should be, because well, most players really don't care about becoming goated at Roblox RBs. So with all of that said, I think it's best a game such as Flood Escape 2 also goes into the second level of RB knowledge, as despite this being an extremely popular game in the past, with Roblox's new era of whatever the fuck this shit is, I don't think even 1% of this new era of players has any idea what Flood Escape 2 really is, nor the true difficulty that Flood Escape 2 really has gotten to. Because believe me, just like Ito, some of the maps that are still being created as part of this game are quite literally insane. And finally, to end off level 2, I think something like modified physics RBs along with wallhop RBs also aren't as well known as I thought they were, as I was originally going to put these two into the level 1 RB knowledge, but this basically refers to all sorts of games that modify your jumping power or speed power or whatever, such as no jump RBs along with, you guessed it, wallhop RBs. Would you have to? Wallhop, shocker, I know. Although wallhops are probably much more well known because of YouTubers like Real Rosa, and I think it's really stupid that your average 2-year-old probably drools over their iPad when they see somebody wallhopping. It's really not that hard to wallhop if you're extremely good at RBs like one of the best players. This is not something that only like one person can do. Either way though, if it's not obvious enough already, shit becomes much more skill based rather than fun at this point. And of course, the more skill based something is, the less known it is, because the average Roblox player really doesn't want to spend months getting better at Roblox RBs. Shocker, right? So with all of that said, it's time for level 3. By this point, you're most likely part of the Roblox RBing community, and you definitely play RBs quite actively, as from now on, this knowledge doesn't just normally come from being a casual non-RBist, since this is the point where you actually begin to dive into the actual history of RBs and stuff, with a perfect start being the Kato and Jato lore, with Kato standing for the Kiddies Towers of Hell, and Jato standing for Juke's Towers of Hell. Now, you may be asking, who was Skiddy and Juke, and why is it now called Eternal Towers of Hell instead of that? Well, you see, to quickly go over this, in January of 2021, after quite a big controversy where the previous owner, known as Juke Car at the time, had apparently stolen a fuck-ton of the game's total revenue, instead of paying it out to the game developers, she had ended up resigning as the owner, where instead of her, Aeternalis had become the new owner instead, which was soon followed by Jato being renamed to Eternal Towers of Hell. However, this goes way back, as before Drukara even became the new owner, Jato was originally known as Kiddies Towers of Hell, way before it had become the modern RB game that it is nowadays. And Kiddy Cannon, who previously owned Jato, had deleted the game in March of 2019, which is when Jukka had taken on the game to become the new owner. Oh, and also, she was known as Jupiter 5 at the time, so Kato had then been renamed to Jupiter's Towers of Hell, until she had later on changed her username to Jukekara, which resulted in the game also being renamed to Juke's Towers of Hell. So yeah, I know, this is some crazy RB lore, isn't it? Because this shit goes quite deep within personal stories about grudges and much more than that. What's even crazier though is that Kiddy Cannon had left Ito in order to then create the Tower of Hell along with Pixel Dev, so he quite literally has contributed to the existence of the entire tower genre on Roblox. And I hate how Tower of Hell got all the fame, whilst Ito was left behind despite being the original project that inspired Tower of Hell in the first place. Either way though, if I had explained every topic into as much detail as that for the entire video, we would be here for ages. So I think it's best we move on to the true depths of Roblox top RB play, where players such as Boom Sazak and Monster is a Block are actively competing against each other. And now if you know nothing about RBs, you probably are like, who the f is that? Well, if you know anything about Geometry Dash, the best way to describe somebody like Monster is a Block and Boom Sazak would be that they are basically the Zoink and W pop-off of Roblox RBs. quite literally, with Monsters Block having verified the current hardest obby and badge ever completed on the entirety of Roblox, which is known as Stone Reborn, and Boom Sazak having verified Stairway to Heaven, along with many more of Roblox's hardest obbies, such as the Tower of Wigglecore, which you as the viewer watching this video quite literally stand zero chance against. And he also verified Backdoor Benjamin all the way back in July of 2023. I really don't know how to truly put into words just how fucking difficult these Roblox obbies really become, because they are just that hard. And the saddest part is that some 9-year-old probably looked at this and thought this shit was easy for somebody like Real Rosa. But anyways, there are many more top Roblox obbies right now, such as C-Line Prince Kitsuna, just like any other competitive gaming community. However, I believe obbies stand out a lot from that, because the hardest obbies ever completed on Roblox can quite literally be considered some of the literal hardest achievements ever done in the history of gaming, despite being quite unknown. So with that said, I think this is where we need to move on to the Eternal Abyss, along with also the Ito fan games, which are community-made games similar to Ito that are inspired by Ito. However, the Eternal Abyss stands out from the rest because it's the main game where all the competitive top obbying stuff happens, as Ito itself is not intended for the hardest obbies on the entirety of Roblox, because the way Ito works is that every few months or more, a new era is released with tiles of exceptional quality added to the game that are selected by the game's curator system to be added into the game. However, the highest difficulty that an actual Ito tower can be is the catastrophic difficulty, which is nowhere near as hard as the horrific and unreal difficulty that do not exist within the main Ito game. And comparing something like the hardest Ito tower, the Tower of Cruel Punishment, to Stone Reborn is quite literally impossible, because the difference between the two is greater than the difference between starting from zero and going up all the way to the Tower of Cruel Punishment. It's basically like putting Bloodbath against Thinking Space 2, for those who play Geometry Dash. So it's basically Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. But anyways, how did the horrific and unreal difficulty even become official difficulties, referring to the hardest humanly possible achievements on Roblox? Well, you see, back in March of 2022, the Pit of Misery subrealm was released as a hidden subrealm to Zone 3 of Ito, which at the time had instantly become a big topic within the Roblox obbying community, as this was the first time in the community's history where an official Ito area had gotten towers beyond the catastrophic difficulty added into it, since at the time the hardest tower ever beaten on Roblox was the Tower of Cruel Punishment, and people didn't really think it would get much harder than that, but they were extremely wrong. With the Pit of Misery subrealm being released, towers such as the Tower of Vacant Hindrances and Tower of Eternal Void, which were both considered horrific difficulty at the time, had become an instant hit to reach a new human limit of Roblox obbying skill. And so 2 or more years later, when the horrific difficulty had finally been entirely overcome, Skitsuna had also verified the Citadel of Infinite Void around October of 2024, which is when the Unreal difficulty had also become a feasible difficulty to complete for humans. However, with time and with Roblox also adding a new FPS cap update where it wouldn't be an FPS cap of 60 anymore, the rules of top Roblox obbying had changed a lot over time, which allowed players to eventually get to where we are today. But anyways, as the skill cap had increased over time and players had become much better at the game, also came the release of the Eternal Abyss, which was created in 2024 as an Ito fan game where a majority of decent quality top towers would be added to the game, along with some dog shit towers that had made history in the past, as this game does not follow a clear quality standard of that similar to Ito. So the Eternal Abyss remains as the preferred game for the best Roblox hobbyists to attempt the hardest achievements within, as the game overall flows better within the Eternal Abyss as well, and there are countless top Roblox towers within this game. So with all of that said, I think it's worth briefly mentioning a few of the less niche obby communities, such as the Top Towers community, the Top Obbies community, and of course the Ito Discord server itself, as these servers is where all the obby discussion usually tends to happen within the community. So with that said, it's probably best we move on to tiered obbies now, since you've almost definitely heard of these if you happen to be an active obby player, but But it's not that simple, as tiered obbies can go far beyond what the casual player has ever heard of. The way the tiered obby system works is that each tier becomes twice as hard as the last one basically. So an obby of tier 2 is twice as hard as a tier 1 obby, and the tier 10 obby is 512 times harder than a tier 1 obby, which means an obby of the tier 18 difficulty would be 2062 times harder than a tier 1 obby if you use the geometric sequence. So that's quite silly, because if you go by the sequence to the power of 2, something like Stairway to Heaven, which is Roblox's hardest tier obby ever completed right now, would be 16,384 times harder than something like the Tower of Hell, because the Tower of Hell is like tier 4 at most, while Stairway to Heaven is tier 18. And this should also probably explain why the human limit for tiered obbies is never going above the tier 19. But anyways, the main point behind the tiered obby is just to be an open space obby where you as a community member can create whatever you can think of. However, most tiered obbies tend to follow a purist gameplay style, which means that there are no client objects, which are basically moving objects such as spinners. And similarly to Top Towers, the hardest tiered obbies ever completed, such as Backdoor Benjamin, have quite a lot of history behind them, and they also tend to be much shorter than towers, which results in raw gameplay that's much harder than what you would see inside of a tower. However, the next unknown thing within this level of obby knowledge becomes even crazier, as I think it's time we briefly talk about the Top Jumps community as well, which is a community that focuses entirely on landing the hardest jumps on the entirety of Roblox. And this is where you've got dedicated community members spending literal days of their life just attempting to complete one singular Roblox jump of the highest possible precision. This community has an entire top 100 list of Roblox's hardest jumps ever landed, which is crazy, as I cannot describe the true precision that these jumps really require. However, with that said, I think it's time we get even crazier and dive into the Citadel of Void and the Tower of Jungle Gyms. The Citadel of Void was widely known as Roblox's most impossible obby for a very long time, until the Tower of Jungle Gyms was recently publicly released, which is literally error difficulty. Wait, but hey, that's a new difficulty. What is that difficulty? That's not very well known. Exactly, it isn't. But okay, so once you go beyond the Unreal difficulty, which has yet to be reached by humans, you have the Nil difficulty. And so far, nothing even close of this difficulty has ever been completed. But after the Nil difficulty, you have the Error difficulty, which is like more humanly impossible and precise than the chances of us living to see the day where teleportation becomes a reality. So whilst both of these difficulties are way beyond humanly feasible aside from the bottom of Nil as of right now, Error difficulty is just fuck no. But anyways, the Citadel of Void has a lot of history behind it, as one of Roblox's most well-known and impossible obbies on the entire platform. What shocks me though is that people genuinely act like this Citadel will be verified one day. No gang, this will not be the Silent Clubstep of obbies. This shit is genuinely impossible, and it would be infinitely harder than Silent Clubstep, but anyways. Whilst the Citadel of Void can be outjumped and stuff, you then got the Tower of Jungle Gyms, which is just, yeah, 2 entire hours of impossibly precise gameplay, yay. Nah, but low-key though, jokes aside, this style is actually really fucking cool, and it's sad that this is not like as well known. However, I think it's best that we now move from impossible skill-based obbies to speedrun obbies. 3OS is basically the new and revamped version of what Flood Escape 2 could have been, and let me tell you, this game has some amazing fucking maps. Look at this shit though. Holy, I'm about to explode. But anyways, this game gets quite difficult, as this is an entirely different skill.
Hello. I probably won't be playing TOCL today. I have like stuff to do. I'm like maybe practice 7. Nice. Yeah. The first outside of 10? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you probably could. Uh, is your PB 7? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go practice TCL real quick. That's all I might do some runs, but probably not. Alright, on my mind, I just gotta practice, like, I need 5 to... I've been feeling, like, so happy lately, bro. I think so. Yeah. Oh, I also... Well, not... Honestly, I could just need to get a run of 7. Or, like, more runs of 7. The 7 is the hardest floor of the entire tower. I'll just quickly go over like 4 and stuff. I just turned my computer on, so like I'm gonna lag like crazy, bro. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those kind of suck. Yeah. Wait, no way Gurfy is Unreal skill. Dang. Damn. Bro, you know who Gurfy is, right? He's some like random guy in the server. He's grinding It Never Ends, bro. Like, apparently. Because he's not in all jump mode. I don't know. I'm playing too soon. Damn. The start of floor 2 TCL is like actually horrendous, bro. Uh, nice. Damn. And I need a new strat for one of the jumps, dude, because it doesn't work right now. I don't know. Oh, wait. You see it? Wait, I'm on like 2-star. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, do you manual flick it or no? Wait. What do you mean more to the right? Wait, move my camera or like tilt my character? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, land more to the right. Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah. I. Okay, 4 is good. Damn. Alright, floor 5 is good. Damn. I have a big issue with under practicing. thinking about horrifics to beat. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the wall would be like a pretty good option. All right, I'll be right back. All right. No, what the fuck it is not, bro. It is not horrific, bro. Like the raw is probably like the raw feels like I'm doing a horrific, but like it's not a horrific, bro. You can do that shit in 2 minutes. Are they talking about the raw or like the actual tower? Damn. Oh, they said horrific gameplay. Ah, yeah. Dang. I think that, bro. I think that TUCL is Canada because the raw is either mid Terry or mid Cata. Then it averages out. Like literally. Yeah. Should I all for Malefic or something else? I'm scared that I'm gonna like I don't know why I'm scared to do this, but like I don't want to do this. I don't want to like all floor or like get two floors in one run of Malefic and then decide fuck it, I just want to go for a Malefic. I don't know if I want to do that. I could do that, but it's like so tempting if I can get. Alright, that's true. Because if I, oh yeah, that's true. Because if I do that, because if I do that, because if I do that, I'm let's say like I do all floor that or like get two floors in one run, like 5 runs in total. What Dot said, like for example, he took me doing that as an example. He said if I do that, I'm not horrific skill. I'm close to being at that skill. I just gotta do some other stuff to maintain it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. But here's the thing, like, I'm guessing I know that TOCL grind will go into April, but when I all floor Malefic, like in June, I'm going to Russia for a full month without my PC. I don't want to like redo like all of that basically. Yeah. Yeah. I might honestly buy like a I might honestly buy not a gaming laptop, just like a laptop that's good enough to run on like 144 or something. Yeah. And I could just plug in my Wooting because like yeah. Because I don't want to like the last time I went to like on vacation for a full month, I only took 2 days to de-rust, but I was like REM skill at the time. That doesn't really like yeah. I won't do that. I won't do that, bro. Yeah, that's honestly true, bro. which is why I literally said I don't want to do that, cause like it's gonna be hella tempting, but I just gotta fight it. Yeah, that's my end goal, to beat a horrific. But now I might change it, because why stop there? Beating, like, in my eyes, like, my, in my eyes, bro, when I beat a horrific, I unlock, like, a gate to, like, a new, like, thing. I'd say, like, dang, nice. Now, like, I gotta escape the SC world and go to SC plus, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a, like, once I get to SC plus, like, it's gonna become way less fun to grind shit, but, hey, I'm a horrific, bro. But, like, I'm a horrific. It's always when you're on autopilot, bro, I swear. I'm nearing SC plus, I just gotta graduate Kata, which might take me a bit, but, like, it's whatevs. I'm, like, low mid Kata, I'd say. Yeah, nice. Yeah. But you just, like, fail it for no reason. I, After maybe meaningfulness, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, okay. It has to be a high kata. And then, honestly, if meaningfulness and malefic offlooring give me a skill boost, I might just do, like, Jabberwock or some shit. Yeah. When I first started playing this game, I didn't even think I would beat, like, an insane. It didn't take me that long. Floors 1, 2, 3 are so easy to fail, bro. Fuck it, new end goal, beat an Unreal. Maybe even further, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be like Pi and do two horrifics, bro. And one of them is like, I'm doing at least five, bro. Like, kind of like what Baby Dog is doing. I want to do Malefic. I want to do Home Finder. I already have Home Finder, and like, not. I don't have it in runs. Like, it's not connected, but like, I could. I'm planning on doing. Wait, I'm not even in Eternal Abyss right now. Yeah. What I'm planning to do. Damn. What I'm planning to do. I don't know if Jabberwock counts, but I don't think it does. Same as like, I'm planning to do Home Finder, Malefic, Quite Devious, maybe Watermelon. Actually, probably not. Watermelon's kind of shit. Oh, TOSR, Chromatic Inclination, because, like, yeah, you know me. And maybe Lavender Luster. Even though Lavender Luster looks hella good. Yeah, it's a maybe for me, because the deco is absolutely amazing, but the gameplay is, like, horrendous. The second half isn't that bad, but, like, the first half is so shit, bro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, I'm gonna do Doomsday Tower, I'm gonna do Corruption's Embrace, and Umra Market. No, I'm kidding. Doom. Holy shit. I don't know if Doomsday or Umra Market is worse, bro. I actually don't know. Yeah. Bro, Karinji beat Corruption's Embrace, by the way. He rated it like a 3 out of 10, bro. Which is high for fucking, what's it called? Like, for Corruption's Embrace, bro. And for Unreal, first is gonna be like, I don't really know, maybe like either Core to You Up. I'm gonna do either Core to You Up or Sudden Death. Because Spiraling is first is like, and then Spiraling second, definitely. Why am I already planning this out? Take this with a grain of salt. Nice. I do not want to do Impending, bro, at all. I might want to do. No, not. I don't know if I want to do. Yeah. Damn. Oh, wait, what tower are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Like, what the fuck? Why the fuck did they put, like, Blind Fate over COIV? Yeah, look, TTC list. They might have changed it already, I don't know. Wait, top towers community list. Yep, Blind Fate is above COIV. Blind Fate is 7th, COIV is 9. Yeah, but he's doing it on 60. Yeah, that's. I thought they. Do they rank based on 60 or like. No? Oh, yeah, I forgot it. They moved TOCP to fucking like. Or like they did for like 2 days. They moved TOCP to horrific on 60 for like 2 days. Because it's not. It's peak cata on 60. Like it's only very peak cata on 60, dude. 144, it's like 11.8. Yeah. There's this one jump on 8 Lavender Luster that is like, oh my fucking god, bro. Like, might actually be the 8 is 8 starts off like as REM gameplay, and then it gets really fucking hard. Yeah, and then it gets easy again, and then it gets really fucking hard again. Like, bro. I Crack needs to do TOCR, bro. I don't know how the fuck he can't do that though. Like he should be able to. Also, he said that if he doesn't get any skill boost from ATC, he's quitting the game. Which honestly, that's hella valid because he got like, yeah. He said it made him. Neither do I, bro. I don't like all jumping stuff. I like just playing through stuff. Yeah. Because I played through Lavender Luster. Dang. Overthinking life choices. Should just full on all jumping every single tower. Yeah. 22 is apparently bottom Unreal. Like, what? 16 floors, dude? Oh, it's number 16 too. That's funny. Yeah. They should have two number. They should be allowed to tie like two towers in terms of ranking, bro, I swear. Because impending and monochromatic, yeah. Hold, wait, yo, somebody beat, yo, check general. Somebody beat TOCR. Yo, no. He should. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm 100% doing at least an 11.5 after TCL. Like, I really don't know how it's gonna go. Yeah. Wait, so you went from what to what? Yeah, but you were playing. Yeah, but you were like playing. Yeah. It's only jumping if you. Oh yeah. Jumping is like if you're fresh, like in insane skill, and then you go to a horrific. Yeah. I feel like meaningfulness is a solid like bridge tower. It gets. Let me get it. Let me go into it. Like floor one isn't that bad, but it's floor one, so. What the fuck? Okay. Ooh, I like the. I like how the tower looks, though. Is this a lodge? Oh, I don't think it is. Nice. There are so many lodges in this tower, dude. Like, oh my goodness, bro. Holy shit, I'm not good at lodges. Alright, time to strat focus, bro. The not lodge, the not lodge gameplay is like not bad at all. But I'm doing like the mono. But I'm doing the malefic thing in between this, so like, eh, I guess. Because malefic has some like, actually does quite a lot of lodges. I'm not good at the lodges in this tower, dude. Good at everything in this tower except the lodges. Yeah, I know. And there's another lodge. Cool. I'm gonna go get some food. Damn. Alright, I'm back. I might play some Home Finder, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do the last 3 floors. This shit is so hard to sight read, though. Yeah. Yeah, the last 3 floors are actually, like, so hard, bro. Yeah. Damn. Nine doesn't seem... Actually, 9 is pretty bad. Damn. Yeah. Okay, 10 is by far the hardest fucking floor, bro. What about a second? So it's consistency. Dude, the ending of 10 Home Finder is so shit, bro. Like, oh my god. Ah, okay. A lot of it is just going to the corner of a stud. And that, like, kind of helps. Yeah. And then you, like, angle your camera. You said ledge grab it? For me, it's more consistent if I dance it. Yeah. It's more consistent if I just, like... Yeah. Okay. Damn. the fuck? What's your PB? 8? Damn. Damn. I'm gonna go practice 7 TOCL. Because I need to find an actually, like, consistent strat for one of the jumps. I really hope I, like, don't have this thing where I don't play for 1 day and get super washed. Where's the partial net? Okay, there it is. Like, the first part isn't that bad, and then, like, 7 becomes actually horrible. It's just this jump. Yeah, I can, like... I think the most reliable strat is just me manual flicking this and, like, hoping for the best, bro. Like, literally, bro. Like, there's, like, nothing I can do on that jump. Rest of 7, I'm just gonna practice rest of 7. Which isn't that bad, actually. Because there's a big net. But there's, like, some unnetted parts that are just, yeah. And this should be 8 from that jump. Alright, so I basically did 7 in one run. Because that jump is deadass impossible. Like, the jump that's above the net, thankfully, it is actually so impossible to do consistently, bro. Not the wall hop. I'm on 7. It's just like... It's this one really long... It's this one really long truss flick, bro. Yeah. Like, really long for some reason, and there's, like, so many poles in the way. Yeah, it's literally just me manual flicking and hoping for the best, bro. Because honestly, I don't like to shift like that jump, because it's to the left. Yeah. I think that's enough practice for today. Hopefully I don't get washed, but whatever. Yeah, I did most of the floors like first or second try, so I'm good. But one is like never gonna get... One is never gonna get 100% consistent, bro. So honestly, next time I make it to 7, I have a solid chance of passing it. There's like one other pretty hard jump on 7, but it's like very stratable. FS is... Yeah. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm not used to playing client objects again because I've been playing so much purist shit recently. Yeah.
One, two, three.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Damn. Yeah, the fourth room is the only one that's like unedited, I think.
One, two, three.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One, two, three.
Yeah. Dang.
One, two, three.
Maybe.
One, two, three.
Nice. Yeah. Bro, so many of these songs are from Flood Escape, and I just know them. Probably. Yeah. Toxic is like horrible, bro. I don't like that tower at all. Probably. Yeah. Yes, you can see what you need to practice. I do I do my top three floors. Either because right now I have 7 times 2, 6 times 2, 5 times 4. It is pretty clear what tower TTC likes the most. What type of towers? I might do chromatic inclination as my first time miscline objects, and yeah. Whoa, these are cool. Okay, hold on. Yeah, yeah. I do not like floor three, bro, of that. Yeah, that's fair. I wish the volume knob on my headset like actually worked. Nice. Damn. Forms, is it cheating if I skip this one like netted wall hop on 3? Yeah, it's literally netted. I think TTC has like a policy. I think, what is it like? 3 or more skips, it invalidates your run. I don't know. Forms, it's when you least expect it. Bro fails. Bro fails last jump of 8. Okay. Okay, since I can't play today, I'm gonna do like a really long practice session. I have 12 hours now. Great. Not that much time. Uh, on the tower. Damn. First jump of 7 is relatively. First jump of First jump of 7 is relatively failable. I can actually see myself failing this shit. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Damn. There is not a single like actually there is some filler on 7. What am I saying? I've done like I put a solid like hour of practice on it, but I'm not gonna make it. Actually, I might if I pass 7. I think the song, like the music in TOCL, like matches the vibe of the tower or like the atmosphere of the tower. This has literally zero correlation, but like when I'm on the corner of a truss and I try to flick off, the less likely I am to actually hit my fucking spacebar. If I could go back in time, I wish I didn't start like thumb shifting, bro. That's like the worst thing I could have ever done. After I pass those two like really bad flicks, it's basically a guaranteed 8 run. Okay, I'm not gonna go to the corner of that anymore. Even though it's like better for me too. Okay, those jumps are good enough, honestly. Oh, this one trust lick is so shit. You either make it so easily or you don't even get close to making it. Good luck. I'll practice in floor 9 actually. I've mine to C. Bro, whoever said 9 is free is actually lying, bro. Wait, maybe 9 gets easier. Nope, I suck at walkarounds, dude. FS is actually so fucking hard, bro. Yeah. 10 might be harder than 7, bro. Like, 7 really ain't that bad. Yeah, it's FS or 10. Because, yeah. Probably.